Sometimes I actually feel like I have an impact on the game, because I've said that Caliban and his sentient boys would be really good if he could spawn ranged ones, because while the melee boys with their bonking sticks did great damage, they were also incredibly dumb. And guess what they did with this latest update? They gave us the option to summon either melee boys, ranged boys, or support boys. They also changed a bunch of other stuff, but I don't care about that. All I care about are the boys. Because if the new and improved boys are any good, Caliban might actually become my main Warframe. I swear to God, if this is not good, I'm gonna cry. Let's start with Energy Siphon. Maybe we can change into something else later, but for now, I just want some extra energy. Now, I already have an Umbra Forma on Caliban, so we're gonna go Umbro with Intensify, Fiber, and Vitality. What's the scaling like? So damage multiplier 4.43, health multiplier 3.54. That's good, but we can do way better. I'm gonna go with Grace and Malt. We might not need Grace in the end, but we definitely want Malt for the extra strength. This is probably not necessary, but I'm gonna run Prompt Continuity for some extra duration on the boys. Yeah, this pushes it almost up to 70 seconds. Streamline's always nice, just a little bit of efficiency there. It pushes the costs down to 35 on that as well. 17.5, that's quite nice, and then yeah, 70 on the ulti. Would not mind having a bit of extra range. This increases the range on the shield regeneration, yes, from 25 to 36.25. Like, if this doesn't do anything, we can always take it out, but let's try it and see what it do. I think we just go big on strength. Amar's Hatred, Ogre Secrets, and we get the set bonuses as well. This is going to be nice for heavy attack builds. Yeah, and then Exilus, probably Power Drift, I guess? Yeah, Power Drift. Though with that said, this is only 30% chance to resist knockdown. This is 100, and I don't know if you know this, but 100 is way more than 30. What kind of a YouTube man would I be without primed YouTube memes in the Exilus? Am I right? Yes, let's put it on. We're gonna run full Crimson. I have 2 Tau Forged ones, and we're just going pure strength. 276% strength before Malt Augmented. You know this is serious when I'm actually like recoloring Harold to match the new frame. There we go. Moment of truth. Let's switch to the range boys and let them rip. Oh, they look so cool. They look so very cool. Please, be good. I am so happy right now. It actually... Look at him! Look at him! Oh, he's so precious. His little mortar. Now, Harold is helping them out quite a bit. But still, this is all I ever wanted. Whoa, he like turns into a portal and stuff. That's neat. These are the support ones, so they're mainly for like restoring shields. Yeah, they don't seem to be doing a lot of damage. The melee guys always had good damage, like even before the rework, they did good damage. It's just that they were really dumb, so they would never actually deal that damage. I am very happy right now. I am so excited to finally try this in a mission. The melee guys still seem pretty dumb. They seem to be standing around a lot, but I don't know, maybe their attack speed is just low. The ranged boys are really fun and they do, like, they're far more consistent with their damage, but they do like to get stuck. Like, I'm pretty sure, yep, there's one in the water right there. They just love to get stuck on things. Also, since we have Amar's Hatred, we can... Hey, nothing personnel, kid. Whoa, I'm not paying attention to the life support at all. I'm just faffing around with the boys. Their damage and clear is actually quite good, especially with Harold on top, because Harold does a lot of damage as well. And then we have the 3 sentients. It's actually, like, pretty good, even in Steel Path. Their AI is quite aggressive as well. I expected them to be a little bit more tame. He's stuck again. Yeah, apparently stairs and tables are too advanced for the sentients. No biggie though, resummoning them is as simple as that. I adore the chaos the sentients cause on the battlefield, it's tremendous. I don't know how well their damage will scale deeper into Steel Path, and I honestly don't care. Like, they do enough for base level Steel Path, which is what I do most of the time, so for me, that's more than good enough. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this. Like, we could get more strength, but I feel like this is a solid enough setup for what I like to do. Melee boys are pretty good versus the Infestation, because they don't have to think too much, right? The Infested kind of present themselves on a silver platter, so all they have to do is just swing around and spin. They're way more aggressive than I expected them to be. They sort of just kind of do their own thing. They're kind of like a Kavat. They just float around and do whatever the hell they want. One thing I do want to mention about the ranged mortar boys is that even if their damage isn't particularly good, they're still really useful because of the Tau status effect. if I understand it correctly, the Tau status effect is kind of like puncture, but for status, so it makes the enemies more likely, or it makes the enemies basically vulnerable to status effects, right? They're easier to inflict status on. That on its own is absolutely cracked, especially if you combo it with something like an influence build. I want to try combat discipline, mainly to trigger grace, but we need to forma for that, and I think I'm just going to put on aura forma so that I can swap them around at will. I mean, I have 3 and I barely ever use them, so let's just put it on. Combat discipline goes on, and that's pretty much it for the setup, I guess. I forgot to press the record button, but I wanted to see what it feels like to use this build in a different kind of mission, so we're trying the new Shrine Defense, and so far, so good, even though I'm solo in here. They're not really helping against the big guy, but that's kind of to be expected as it is status resistant. Took me a while to get used to this because I've only ever done this on Inauros, and it's super duper easy on Inauros, but so I've died once. But overall, very good. Me likey. So here's the final build for the reworked Caliban. For the aura, you can kind of run whatever you want. I chose combat discipline because I wanted to trigger arcane grace with it, but as I've said, you can run whatever aura you want. The same goes for the Exiles. I run prime sure-footed because I hate being knocked down, but you can put whatever you want in there or even leave it empty. For the actual mods, we're running the full Umbral set, so Vitality, Fiber and Intensify for a ton of health, armor and strength. But you don't actually have to go with health and armor, you can easily use shields instead. However, going Umbral will allow you to get a ton of strength with no downsides, as you get super juiced Umbral Intensify and you don't have to run corrupted mods. After that, we have Streamline for a bit of efficiency, Stretch to increase the radius of the shield regeneration aura you get on the Sentients, Amar's Hatred and Ogre Secrets for a bit of extra strength as well as some cool effects from the set bonuses, and we top it off with Primed Continuity, which is kind of like a flex mod. It just increases the duration of the boys up to 70 seconds, so if you don't mind resummoning them more often, you can run something else. The arcanes are pretty straightforward as well, Grace for health regen and Molt Augmented for a ton of extra strength. Alternatively, you can run Arcane Resistance so that you're immune to toxin procs, because those are basically the only things that will kill you, since your Sentients will keep your shields topped off most of the time. Now we do also have 5 red Archon charts. I actually have 2 Tau Forged ones and they're just pure strength. I wanted as much strength as possible so that the Sentients have a ton of health, they're high level and they do a lot of damage. This is what I wanted Caliban to be when he first came out. I wanted a frame that spawns minions that are actually useful. Because I love minions, right? If a game gives me an option to play some sort of a necromancer or a warlock or an engineer that spawns turrets, I will. But up until now, the closest thing we got to an actual minion build was either Shadows of the Dead Necros or a Celestial Twin Wukong. So I'm very happy that I can finally run an actual minion build that works and makes sense. So I would definitely recommend you give this setup a shot. It's a lot of fun. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.